Everyone, this is Elias from Refmatch Media, and today we're going to be taking a look at the, hey man, is that a Supra? Yes, this is a Supra. Yes. Yes, guys, we're going to be taking a look at the 2022 Toyota Supra. Let's get started. We get started in the front, and a couple of things I like and a couple of things I'm a little confused about of why I don't like. So the first thing I really love are those headlights. Those LED 6-beam really headlights look really good. I like the little kind of boomerang side light here. The turn signal looks really good. I do like the, I don't like this. So it is not a functional aerodynamic aspect of it, in the sense that it is blocked off. Down here though, we do have some openings. We do have a bug that was a victim to this. But yeah, the front looks really good. I do love the front bumper of this. What I don't like is this hood. There's something, well, first of all, I don't like the fact that this opening here is sealed. There's, it's there, but it doesn't work. So there's something happening here that my eyes just don't really like. I guess this line should have probably been a little bit here, or just something in the sculpting in that aspect of things. Or I don't know if it's this, something with the hood I'm not a big fan of. But other than that, I mean, the front looks great. We do have the Toyota safety radar there for cruise control settings. But yeah, overall, I really like this front bumper. Well, let's go ahead and open up this hood that I still can't figure out what I don't like about it. We get into the hood and we have the 3.0 liter twin scroll single turbo inline 6-cylinder. Now that it's cranking out 382 horsepower and 368 pound-feet of torque. It is connected to the 8-speed auto and then to the rear wheels. Now, yes, this is the biggest controversial thing. We have a BMW engine under here, under a Toyota. Cool, we got that out of our system. It's good. That twin scroll turbo feels like it's always working, feels like it's always boosting, and it sounds so good. For some reason, it sounds better in a Toyota than it does in a BMW, as we've already reviewed a vehicle, a BMW, with this specific engine. Yeah, it sounds better in a Toyota. It wants to freaking kill me. It does, because the power this thing has it feels like a lot. It feels way more than, you know, those 382. It's mainly because it's a smaller vehicle, but it's just a bat out of hell with power. Now, if you don't want to be loud, you can always put it in normal mode and it will be nice and quiet, behaved, civilized. But when you put it into sport mode, it's just, yeah, it's just waking it up, and it's a lot of fun. I do love this. I do love this power plant. Yes, I know, it's not a 2JZ. Okay, we're over that. One thing I did notice though is the hood actually opens fairly large amount. So as you guys can tell, it's fairly granted, it's shoved in there and very tight, but things would be accessible in this if you're either doing maintenance or you're doing upgrades, because yeah, it's fun to upgrade these things. Well, let's go ahead and see what we have in those wheels and tires. We get down to the wheel and tire package, and we have the 19-inch wheel on this, and it is wrapped in the 255/35 Michelin Pilot Super Sport in the front and 275/35 in the rear. Now, a couple of things with this. So first, the wheel looks nice. I do like the 10-spoke design on this. The only thing is it looks a little small. I don't know if it's the design. You know how some wheels, it is a big wheel, but the design makes it look small? That's the case with this. The other thing as well is the brakes. So we have a nice red caliper brake in there, which really stands out, and it looks great, but it also performs really well. These brakes, no complaints with getting this guy stopped. The only thing that was a little scary was the grip with this. I don't know if it was just the tires or the suspension, but when you really hammered it, it felt like it was on a very thin sheet of ice, like extreme, just ever so slightly thin sheet of ice. And it is hot, so I don't think it was needing to get heat in these tires unless they need excessive amount of heat. But yeah, that was kind of getting a little bit sideways and fun, but kind of scary at some points. So just be aware of that. Make sure your traction controls, all your safety things are on, because I definitely kept them on. But yeah, I mean, the tire and wheel setup looks nice. And let's go ahead and see what we have on the side. We get to the side and yeah, I want to say this is probably the best angle of the Toyota Supra. These lines look so incredible. The proportions between the front, the middle area, and the rear are really, really good. I mean, come on, it shows it in my shirt. It looks so, so good. Yes, the hood looks better from this angle. It really does. From that angle, really. From here, I can see this weird bulbous kind of thing happening. But like I mentioned, you can see the 19s kind of look small in this. Yeah, and I know 20s is probably, I know these wheels are getting bigger and bigger every year for every car. But yeah, I just feel like, I guess it's the design. I want to say 100% it's the design. Just makes the overall package looks small, but we have that there. Then we have the mirrors here, nothing fancy. We don't have any camera system under here. What I do love though is this line down here that just kind of comes swooping here. And this is my favorite line from the Supra there. It just looks so good. Unfortunately, this kind of door opening, yeah, it's blocked off. It's fake, it's not real. But yeah, this line just looks so good there. And the roof line, we do have kind of the bulbing roof line for helmets. What's weird is the driver's side, even though out here it looks basically the same, on the driver's side it does feel a little bit like less of a kind of arch than it does on the passenger. You know, you're wearing a helmet because you may want to, you're definitely going to want to take this out on the track. It's a little hard to do inside of the car. The other thing as well, it's a little hard to get in. And well, key fob is in my pocket. You just go ahead there. We have frameless window, frameless glass, which is nice. But to get in, and it's not this size, it's this size. Even though I'm 5'6", 5'7", 5'8", about 5'7", 5'8", it is a little tough to really get in. And yeah, you can see, you kind of got to do the supercar entrance to it. And to get out, you kind of gotta get your little supercar lean. Yeah, it's a little on the small side. So tall guys and tall ladies, beware. You may run into some bumps on the noggin. Well, let's go ahead and see what we have in the back. We get to the back and okay, so maybe I lied. This is my favorite part of the Supra design. It looks really, really good. These taillights look really good. Now, I'm hoping for a refresh to kind of make this outer plastic transparent, because I feel like the inside elements are kind of getting lost in this like red, you know, outer plastic there. But yeah, the taillights look great. These lines look spectacular. Just all these little design lines that just kind of meet together and just work really well in this Supra. Couple of things. The exhaust, we don't have to do the exhaust test. We know those are coming straight from the exhaust. These tips are real. Yeah, I wish other things were real, but yeah, these definitely are real. And the front bump, the bottom bumper here looks really, really good. You have the GR logo, we have the Supra logo, and then we have the opening. I could not figure out how to open this thing with a button out here, which I don't believe exists. So YouTube, correct me if I'm wrong, but I don't believe there is a button out here to get this hatch open. But we do have with the key fob, and we have a button on the door to open this up. But we open it, and it's not bad. It's not bad. For two-seater, it actually is really good. My favorite thing about this is I can see through and I can actually reach through from the driver's seat or the passenger seat to something back here, which is what I did to get my mic pack. I completely forgot, and I was able to kind of reach, which is why my book bag is open. But yeah, it was pretty impressive, and I can see the JBL speakers, some look like 6x9s, but yeah, they're fairly big speakers right behind the seats. But yeah, I was pretty impressed with this. So we'll go ahead and close this off, and we don't have a remote start on this. So we're gonna hop in because it is really hot, and let's go have some fun. We get inside of the Toyota Supra, and be aware it's small. It definitely is gonna feel small. We'll discuss the different points. But we get inside, and we get started on the door, and it's a little bit on the smaller side. So the armrest doesn't have much to kind of let you borrow to put your arm there. So you may have to kind of go up top here. Even though the bottom position, the location is really nice, there's not much coming out of the door to comfortably, at least for myself, rest my arm there. But we do have this red leather color on it, which is just looks so good. And speaking about good, the seats. So we have the leather seat option, and they're nice. They're nice. They're a little bit on the tight side on my sides, but you know, lay off some tacos, lay off some brisket, and you're good in business and back in business kind of thing with this. But it's really comfortable. I do like the kind of brushed aluminum area here. It doesn't go through, so it's not a true like. It's a design. It's not really a functional like. You know, we see in other sports cars that goes through in. But they're fairly nice, they're comfortable. My biggest thing is the headrest is really comfortable because I can lean back and it catches me right there. Unlike some that I'm having to like really lay back to finally touch the headrest. So it is a nice little design there, or ergonomically placed headrest. Now the other thing with the kind of headrest area is the roof line. So with the seat, even though I'm positioned all the way down, I am a little bit on the shorter side at 5'7", 5'8"-ish. It feels like the roof is really on top of me. And yeah, just be aware of that, because when I took this out on the track at Texas Motor Speedway, my helmet, I had to kind of put it on sideways and then get in. Getting in with the helmet would not have worked either, because this is really small here on the door, and I've already banged my head a couple of times, and again, my seat is all the way low. So it's gonna be very sports car, almost supercar, like, okay, I'm gonna kind of look like an idiot to kind of get into my car. Yeah, you're gonna have to kind of deal with that a little bit with this. Then we get to the steering wheel, and the steering wheel is really nice. So it is, the center does look very beefy with that big Toyota horn. The feel to it is a little bit on the stiffer side, but the leather, the softer leather, does make up for a good feeling steering wheel here. We do have the paddle shifters in the back, which I wish they were a little bit bigger. Having these kind of only split at the top reminds me, yes, I know, reminds me of the BMW 4 Series Grand Coupe that we had, that, you know, was only the top half and not the bottom half. It would be nice to have a little bit on the lower, and maybe not so far in, maybe a little bit further out for that. And then in the front, we have very simple cruise control buttons and radio controls there as well. Nothing too exciting on that side of things. I do find this kind of blank area here a little bit weird, a little bit awkward, a little bit cheap, to be honest with you. So yeah, would have been nice to just have it kind of punched through on that. Then we get to the gauge cluster, and the gauge cluster is digital, but it's got like analog cutouts to them. So we do have your speed on the left, we do have your tachometer really dead center, and yeah, and then that's pretty much it. You don't have much options on there. It's okay. You're gonna be wanting to just kind of focus more on the drive, not get distracted by fun things. That was one of the biggest things with the GR86, that I did have fun with just very simplified things, didn't need more, didn't want more really when it came to that. Then we get over to the infotainment system, and the infotainment system is very BMW. Yes, it is. What a surprise, right? But it's not a bad thing. I like the simple widescreen, a little bit on the shorter side, not on the taller side, because again, the visibility in this is kind of limited. So I'm glad it's a little bit on the shorter side, so it doesn't get in our view, basically. But yeah, it's very simple, very straight to the point. We do have Apple Wireless CarPlay, so it is a great system like we always have in the BMWs, where connectivity is really, really good. We come down here a little bit more, and again, we have those BMW kind of preset stations that really aren't useful to me. I did see myself using the volume knob though, so that is a nice touch, that to have it there and quickly raise or lower the volume. We get to the AC controls, and very simple, very straightforward, no issues there. You know, what the button shows you is what it is. No complaints there. We come a little bit lower, and we have the wireless charger. So this has a wireless charger that has kind of a like a roof. It has kind of like a roof to contain, it's basically a plastic piece above to contain your phone from basically moving, because it is on a kind of a flat surface. I was gonna criticize and say that's never gonna work. It works. So the only thing is that it kind of works too well, and you are having to kind of fight a little bit when you're needing to get your phone out of the charger. But other than that, it's been really great charging my phone with no complaints. I have the USB-A connection. I didn't even pack a USB cable in this because it was just that damn good. It really was. Then we get over to the shifter, and the shifter is nice. It's normal, nothing spectacular about it. It does, yeah, I wish a little bit more design would have gone into it to give me more pizzazz, really. But other than that, it worked fine. We come over to the right, and we have that BMW kind of command center that lets you the quick menu buttons to access basically any menu that you want, like media, communications, the main menu, maps, and so on. Haven't needed to use this. The touch screen is fairly easy to reach, actually really easy to reach, and it's very, you know, inviting to want to go that route instead. Then we have the sport mode, and it's gonna do just that. It's gonna make it a little bit sporty, a little bit louder, a little bit, yeah, sporty. That's really it. It does make it significantly louder though, which is a fun button. And then we have your parking assist, we have your traction control. You turn it off, it's gonna turn off. You know, leave a little bit of things, but if you push down and hold it, then that's when you get the VSC, which is completely off. And yeah, that's the get you into trouble sideways button. So we'll put that back on. And then again, we have kind of like their safety systems of what you want to go ahead and implement. We come back to the cup holders, and the cup holders are nice for one cup. Yeah, so the front cup is a little bit kind of annoying because you are going to bump it. Yeah, it's literally where your arm rests for really the passenger, but I was still kind of bumping into it. So my second water is in the, my first water is in the second cup holder that's a little bit back, and then my second water, because it is super hot out here in Texas, my second water is in the little cubby behind. Now, let's talk about the back. There is no back seats in this. It is a two-seater. So we are going to go directly to the trunk area, and the trunk area is accessible from up front here, actually. So it was funny, I was gonna start recording and I said, wait, I forgot my mic. And I was already situated, buckled in and everything. I was like, yeah, I don't wanna kind of go outside. So stuck my hand to the back, grabbed my book bag, was able to grab my microphone pack and hooked myself up, and I was ready to go. I didn't think I was gonna like that thing, but the kind of the through kind of opening there, but it was actually really useful. So if you're needing to kind of get something, obviously be safe, be stopped, and all that safety stuff. But yeah, it was really, really great to be able to grab that. The area itself, it's okay. I mean, for two people, significantly big. But yeah, obviously this isn't going to be something where you're going to be hauling a lot of things, but luggage, weekend bags are going to be just perfectly fine. The only thing though is you guys can't probably hear it, but I have a tripod back there, and I do hear it kind of moving as I'm turning from, you know, left and right kind of situation. So you may want to get that kind of tie down net. I don't know if they have it for this as an option, or just go aftermarket or tie it down with something, or yeah, just make sure your items aren't able to shift over. Now let's talk performance. We're dealing with the 3.0 liter twin scroll single turbo inline six. It is cranking out 382 horsepower and 368 pound-feet of torque. It is connected to the 8-speed auto and then to the rear wheels. Now, yes, this is BMW engine, transmission, drivetrain, that whole situation. Yes, it's half a BMW. It's more than half a BMW, but it's not a bad thing. It really is. I know, oh, it's not a Supra. We should have gone with, okay, I'm gonna review it for what it is, and it's really good. So we'll go ahead and pop it into sport mode and go ahead and start launch. And this thing goes. Yeah, this thing really goes. And like I said, this car definitely has the situation where it is going faster than it feels. I did not feel like I was going that fast. I looked down and I was going pretty fast. So yeah, just beware. Keep your eyes on the road and on the heads-up display, because yeah. Oh, also, it just sounds so good. Downshift, we'll go to manual mode, and the downshift, yeah, it's just so good. It really is a very, oh yeah, that sounds so good. But yeah, this thing is incredible. Only thing I do kind of feel with this, and it kind of scares me a little bit, I don't know if it's more the tires or the suspension, but I feel like I'm just slightly kind of floating on the road, just ever so slightly. Like it's not 100% planted down. So any little bump, I feel like I might be going airborne. So, and even when you accelerate, it does kind of get a little bit sideways. Yeah, that's kind of the only thing. Like it pulls really hard, ever so slightly, wherever the wheel is turned. So yeah, that's kind of the only, yeah, there it was turned a little bit left, and it kind of started going a little left. And we're in fourth gear at about 4,000 RPM. So yeah, the power, that twin scroll turbo is so good. It is really, really good at getting the power. But yeah, the rear just wants to step out all the damn time. This thing is, yeah, this thing definitely wants to go sideways. So all those safety things are gonna stay on. But yeah, this thing is incredible. The way it sounds, the way it really keeps you on your feet. Yeah. Yeah. Oh, it is so good. What's crazy is my wife doesn't like small cars. She's been driving this to work, and I haven't heard a single peep out of her about how small this car is, because it is a small car. That means she's been having way too much fun in this. So yeah, the trade-off is definitely worth it. Yeah, it just pulls. That was a 5th gear pull, and whew, it just feels exhilarating. It's such a small car, and to have, it's a very balanced car when it comes to that. But again, that's the only thing that it's scaring the crap out of me right now, where it just feels like I'm on a thin kind of layer of almost ice. So yeah, I don't know if the tires need to be warmed up, but I mean, it is 82 degrees outside, and yeah, we kind of been getting some heat in them, but yeah, that's how it feels. The brakes are really, really good on this. Yeah, it's incredible how ready? Go. Yeah, it is just so good. Man, this thing is just insane. Well guys, I hope you've enjoyed my review of the Toyota Supra, and remember, find the right gear. See ya.